Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hockey Canada's Women's Showcase. After an outstanding under-18 game earlier today, our focus shifts to the national women's team. 4 squads, Team Black, Team Red, to start it off. More than 80 players hoping to earn a spot in Denmark at the World Championships. Other players will have a chance to play the United States in a U22 series. Here is our national anthem. Team Black versus Team Red in the first game of the national women's team camp, with a main focus for head coach Troy Ryan and his coaching staff on selecting Canada's team for the upcoming World Championships that will begin at the end of the month in Denmark. And we will have a couple of Olympic gold medalists to start the game in goal. Emrance Mashmeyer gets the start, the product of Bruderheim, Alberta, who was one of Canada's 2 goaltenders. She played in 2 games in Canada's gold medal winning effort in Beijing. At the other end is Genevieve Lacasse, the 33-year-old from Kingston, who has a couple of Olympic appearances to her credit and has performed in 5 World Championships. And the first women's national team camp game is underway. And a pretty good line to start for Team Red, with Marie-Philippe Poulin, Sarah Nurse, and Jamie Lee Rattray, who moves in on left wing. No Brianne Jenner. She is not playing. She's at the camp, but not playing tonight, and that would be the spot she would be in. But Jamie Lee Rattray, wearing number 8 red, was one of the true stories of the Women's World Championships and the Olympics. Micah Zandy Hart dishes off. She won Olympic gold in February, wearing number 7 for Team Red. Now this is exciting. I've been watching so many of these players for so long and have an opportunity to call one of their games, even if it is a camp game. A true pleasure as Jesse Eldridge shoots it in with hard-charging Sarah Fillier, number 28 in black. And what a young star she is. Maddie Wheeler knocked off the puck. As Team Black possesses, and it's flipped down the ice for Lacasse. She'll sweep it. Vanessa Upson taps it ahead as Rebecca Leslie tried to make her way past Gosling, and Gosling recovers to make the interception. Rebecca Leslie into the high slot area. A weak backhand just to keep the play going. Comes loose in front, cleared out of harm's way. As Team Black making changes, and this is Leslie at the end of her shift. Runs into Sarah Potomac, one of 2 Potomacs on Team Black. The other is number 25, and that is Amy. This is Zoe Boyd. She drops it off. And there is Potomac, rink wide. Cleared in. Gobbled up is the Poulin line back on the ice. And offside is the call. Marie-Philippe Poulin. I think she's the greatest Canadian women's player of all time. 3-time gold medalist. Had 17 points in the most recent Olympic Games. 2 goals in the gold medal game and an assist against the United States. Just an absolute pleasure, and as clutch a player as there is in the world in this sport, period, regardless of gender. Turning deep inside the Team Red zone, Brock Disher. She's number 8, captain Canada's U18 team to a gold medal this June in Wisconsin. She's one of the younger players taking part. She's just 18 years of age. Quick, tight turn by May Batherson. As the puck sent in deep into the zone, wrist shot. Good save by Maschmeyer, who kicked out the right pad. And with a good burst of speed, this is Victoria Bach. She'll center it in front. Now Bach on top of it. She can flat out fly to Gosling. Rink wide, the wrist shot. Lacasse turns that aside. Remember, these players have not played in a game for a long time. Fillier, Gosling, Lacasse had a good peek at it. Wrist shot, and Lacasse stops that too. Off the stick of Rylan McKinnon. She's wearing number 14. She's from Cranbrook, British Columbia. Spent the last 4 years, the 22-year-old, at the University of British Columbia in U Sports play. Maddie Wheeler. Up the middle it goes. Poked at, and back comes Team Black in transition, and Eldridge has a breakaway. She scores! Jessie Eldridge, no mistake on the breakaway. And she makes it 1-0 for Team Black. Eldridge had a big year in 2019 at Colgate University, where she scored 30 times, 54 points, and was a finalist for the top player award in the NCAA Division I. That's the Patty Kazmaier Award. And she makes no mistake for Team Black. Wheeler will chip it in, and back after it goes Zoe Boyd. Centered in front, there's Poulin. Marie-Philippe to Micah Zandy Hart. Her wrister through a screen, misses on the short side. Poulin. Doesn't matter the time of year, she's always going to make an impact. And guess what she just did? Found the net. Marie-Philippe Poulin started the play, finished the play. If you include her 9 World Championships and 4 Olympics, Marie-Philippe Poulin has 90 points in those international events. And the majority of Canada's biggest goals. Last August, and there's a quick one. Can't even finish the story. As Amy Potomac steals it, moves in on Lacasse, and it's 2-1. Amy from Aldergrove, she's 23. And 35 points in 26 games in her last collegiate season at the University of Minnesota. So the goal's coming quickly here in the first period. Upson's pass goes off of Renata Fast. One of the best shutdown defenders in the world. Generally paired with Jocelyn Larocque. Here's another chance, and Lacasse robs Potomac again. So Amy with a second great opportunity. So one of the things I was most intrigued about is watching the Poulin group play against Fast and Jocelyn Larocque. There's that shot. Deflects out of play. Genevieve Lacasse, the Team Red goalie, longtime veteran, has been the third goaltender at times. She was a starter for Canada's World Championship team all the way back in 2015. Gosling off a skate, knocked away from her, and Maschmeyer does not hesitate as Emmerance comes way out to clear it out of harm's way. Fillier stripped by Micah Zandy Hart. Flipped in. Stolen now. Zandy Hart. Her pass, now a long try, a breakaway opportunity. Scores! Victoria Bach. No mistake, and she is flying in this first period. The product of Milton, 26 years old, helped Canada win the world title in this building last August, but did not play on the Olympic team. And she definitely wants to be part of another Team Canada and showing well so far tonight. So 3-1 in favor of Team Black. And maybe more. Zandy Hart plays it into the corner. And here comes Bach again. Working against the youngster, Disher. She's just 18. Centered in front. Loose. A couple of whacks at it. And a lot of play around the Team Red net. So Victoria Bach, Amy Potomac with 2 of the goals, and Jessie Eldridge has scored the other goal. Plenty of Olympians in the game tonight. World Championship gold medalists. Renata Fast is one of them. Plays it for Eldridge, just missed her, and then it's offside at the line. Get a look at a newcomer, and that is Jenna Buglioni. She is from Port Moody, British Columbia. Had a very fine year this past season at Ohio State University. 44 points in 38 games. Buglioni carries in onside. Team Red is making changes, finds Poulin. Tries to go back in front for Buglioni. An opportunity to clear. Out to center is Eldridge. Plays it in. Good pace. To begin this first of a number of games. Camp split into 4 teams. Upson in front of the net. Just fails to make the connection. Kept in at the line. Now an opportunity for Sarah Fillier. Fillier, the wrister, and Lacasse takes care of that on the short side from the 22-year-old Olympian, Fillier. Not a lot of defense in this opening period. Well, they haven't played for a long time, going back several months. Rylan McKinnon trying to make a pin in the corner, is able to force it free, and Sarah Potomac clears it to center ice as young Brooke Disher turns with it for Micah Zandy Hart. Intercepted, turned right back over to Emily Lucier, number 11 for Team Red. This is Michaela Grant-Mentis. She's quite a story. Backhander and a fine save by Maschmeyer. Terrific stop on the short side by Emirates Maschmeyer. Good play and an outlet. Flipped ahead. Sarah McEachern back to accept it. Makes a good little outlet to Michaela Grant-Mentis, who will play for the Buffalo Buttes of that professional women's league this season and signed a big ticket to do it. There's a tip in front, and Maschmeyer makes the save as Tova Henderson let it go from the right point, number 14. Tova, another youngster, she's just 18, who helped Canada in June to that U18 gold medal. So a wide range of ages at this camp. Poulin plays it for Sarah Nurse. What an Olympic she had. 18 points. Back out with Rattray and Poulin. Cherkowski flips it behind the net. Poulin is back defensively. Marie-Philippe right in front of her own net. And now flipped out. We're fast, knocked it down, but Rattray carries on. Jamie Lee Rattray plays with such a wonderful motor. And it was great to see her have success at both the World Championships. Had 2 big goals in the round robin win in the Worlds here against the United States. Had the game winner in the round robin against the U.S. at the Olympics. Buglioni back. Watched closely by Bach as they get into it a little bit. Jocelyn Larocque. She is spun to the ice, the longtime national team veteran. And what a good player she has been for a long time. Di Girolamo. Backhanded in front. Great chance from in tight for Gabrielle David. And Maschmeyer has certainly been sharp, despite giving up the goal to Poulin that tied the game at 1. As she's turned aside 7 of the 8 shots that she has faced. Nice chance for number 40 in red, Gabrielle David, who's from Drummondville, Quebec, coming off an excellent season at Clarkson University. Zandy Hart in a race, and she'll win it to the end line. So Team Canada on their way at the end of the month to play in Denmark to defend the World Championship. They won against the United States, and just another classic here early in the fall, or I guess late summer to be exact. There's a wrist shot that goes wide. Micah Zandy Hart is from Saniston, British Columbia. She was forced out. Leslie. Now Gosling has it poked away from her. Twisting and turning in the corner. And puck turns over as Eldridge. Sent Maggie Connors into the zone. Good work. Back to the line. Zoe Boyd. Cross ice. For Sarah McEachran, and now it belongs to Poulin, who even in a game in August in a camp seems to have it on her stick every second she's out there. Lucier, her opportunity. Poulin on the doorstep, wins another 50-50. Back to the line it goes. Nice little touch pass to the front of the net. Coming from May Batherson, who, yes, is the younger sister of Ottawa Senators forward Drake Batherson. As it's flipped in on Genevieve Lacasse. Henderson reverses in her own zone. Play it out to center. Sarah Nurse wanted Rattray. She prevents the icing. Nurse. She takes a bump, and that's going to produce the game's first penalty. As body contact is legal, body checking in the women's game is not. And a penalty upcoming to her Olympic teammate, Renata Fast. And I love how the 27-year-old plays, plenty of bite. As I mentioned earlier, her and Jocelyn Larocque, I think, make up as good a defensive shutdown pairing as there is in the women's game. This is Erin Ambrose, another Olympic gold medalist who had a fine tournament in Beijing. 28-year-old from Keswick, Ontario, had 4 goals and 9 points at the Olympics. He's always been a very good offensive player. Quarterback's the power play, and there's Maschmeyer making a save on the shot off the flank from Sarah Nurse. You get so used to all the World Championship and Olympic team members with the numbers that they have been wearing for years. Well, those aren't the same numbers that they're wearing here tonight. Nurse finds Erin Ambrose. She walks to the middle, dishes off. Gabrielle David. DiGirolamo, and there's Ambrose up in front, who banks it home. And Team Red, on a power play goal by Erin Ambrose, cut the gap to 3-2 as she made her way down towards the front of the net as the shot came from Jessica DiGirolamo, who's a 23-year-old from Mississauga, Ontario, had 19 points and was the captain at Syracuse University last season. Wheeler trying to get free. Wheeler turns back against Fillier. Cherkowski. Bach, Fillier, and Cherkowski. This is a dangerous unit. Cherkowski steals. Wrist shot. Lacasse blockers that away. Sarah Fillier scoring 8 goals at the Olympic Games. The 22-year-old. Many in this country feel like she is the next one, and certainly with her performances at the World Championships and the Olympics, didn't have anybody feeling any different. There's going to be a penalty to Team Red. So after they score a power play goal, find themselves shorthanded, arm up. Maschmeyer still hasn't really had a chance to leave the net as Rebecca Leslie checks Rosalie Demers off the puck, number 19 in black, who's from Laval, Quebec. Spent the last 4 years at Cornell University, and Marie-Philippe Poulin makes her way to the penalty box with 5:04 to go in what's been an entertaining and high-scoring first game of this camp on the national women's team side. The hopefuls split into 4 teams. This is fast, looking for the redirect in front and just missed as Larocque races back to take care of it. Renata Fast scoots in on right wing, finds Jocelyn Larocque down low. Nifty little redirect by Maggie Connors. Walking out of the corner, backhand. And there's the best stop of the game for Genevieve Lacasse, the 33-year-old from Kingston who robs Rosalie Demers. Fine save after some excellent movement on the power play. Connors behind her, back for Larocque. Rink wide and fast. Again, looking for a redirect. And a good play by, looks like DiGirolamo, number 12, to break that up. Good size, about 5'9". Playing on the defensive pairing with a longtime veteran, Erin Ambrose. Olympic gold medalist, world champion. Played in 3 worlds and scored a power play goal. Erin did moments ago as Gosling back in her own zone. Nicole. Ashmeyer leaves it. Plays it for Ryland McKinnon. Power play continues. Amy Potomac out of the reach of her sister, Sarah. McKinnon. Gosling tries to return the favor, and it's stolen. This is Nurse. She scores! Some kind of individual effort by Sarah Nurse. She was banged up going into the World Championships late last summer. Made an impact, but then went to the Olympics and played by far her best ever hockey in Beijing, where she led all Canadians in scoring, Sarah Nurse did, with 5 goals and 18 points. Well, that was a beauty of a shorthander to tie the game at 3. Still 28 to go on the power play. Team Red has other ideas, and that is the daughter of Jerome Iginla. 17-year-old Jade Iginla, the youngest player in this camp, who helped Canada win a gold medal at the Under-18 Worlds in June in Wisconsin. Saw her a couple of times in her regular season at Rink Kelowna, the Canadian Sports School Hockey League. And number 28, who skates off right now, is an excellent player carrying on in the Iginla tradition. And on her way to Brown University. So a shorthanded goal by Sarah Nurse has tied the game. Turkowski back out this time. Demers chipped it behind the net, fast, pinching down. Turkowski's pass, knocked away. This Team Black looking to regain an advantage. They led 3-1, but find themselves in a 3-3 tie. Nice turn away by the youngster Henderson. Plays it ahead for Poulin, and she has it knocked off her stick. Turkowski wanted Demers up the middle. That didn't work out. And here's Poulin. Coming late. Mashmeyer, an excellent save off of Rebecca Leslie, who Poulin found as the trailer with numbers entering the zone, and Mashmeyer stops Rebecca Leslie. She's from Ottawa, 26 years of age, and no stranger to Calgary, was a key member of the Calgary Inferno a couple of years ago prior to the pandemic. Amy Potomac, she's tripped up. She has one of the 3 black goals and in a bit of a tussle with Erin Ambrose. Ambrose trying to protect it as Potomac, that battle ensues here in the late stages of the first period. First game of the National Women's Team camp. This is Leslie, but she is offside at the line. On her way back to the bench. Rebecca had 26 points in 27 games with the Inferno in 2019. She also helped Canada to a U18 gold medal back in the year 2014. 2 goals and 3 assists in that event. Disher. Backhands it out. Fillier brings it right back in. And there's going to be a team red penalty as Fillier, shaken up, lost her stick in a battle with, we thought, was Zandy Hart, but no, it'll be Lucier who gets the call. So that was actually not the play involving Fillier. She's all right, and she'll take the power play faceoff. Loses it. Zoe Boyd chops at it, but it's knocked away from her. As McEachran finds Sarah Potomac for Kristen Delarovere, who is the cousin of former Canadian World Junior gold medalist Stéphane Delarovere, as Sarah Nurse creating some more havoc on the penalty kill, and she has a shorthanded goal. Out there with Jamie Lee Rattray on the penalty kill up front. Here comes Fast, bursting into the zone. Her pass sets up a good opportunity for Demers, but Lacasse looked to have got a piece of her shoulder on that as Rattray in a race at the other end with her Olympic teammate Jocelyn Larocque. As the buzzer goes, well, no shortage of goals, no shortage of activity in a 3-3 tie at the end of one period. This is game one. It is Hockey Canada's Women's Summer Showcase for National Women's Team hopefuls and U18 hopefuls that we saw earlier today. We'll be back with a second period in about 15 minutes. to the Markin McPhail Arena here at Winsport, the home of Hockey Canada. And for the next 2 weeks, no shortage of women's hockey, with 142 prospects participating in a summer showcase for the U18, the national women's team. And when the national women's team cuts down in their camp, it will leave a U22 development team to take on the United States. And you'll find all the action right here on hockeycanada.ca and their YouTube channel. 3-3 is the score. And Team Black starts the second period with now 50 seconds to go in their second power play. They have given up a shorthanded goal to Sarah Nurse that tied the game in the first. Renata Fast chips it as far as the line, but no farther. Poulin intercepts and clears it down the ice. She scored. Marie Philippe did, one of the 3 Team Red goals in the first period. And, well, a little sticky on the ice. Too much water at that end, but play does continue. Fast, rink wide, off a stick. And Micah Zandy Hard, who picked up a first period assist, another Canadian Olympic gold medalist, clears it the length of the ice. And look at the struggle in and around the Team Black net as Emily Lucier's penalty has expired. So Team Black 0 for 2, now with a power play. Troy Ryan and his coaching staff, all the Hockey Canada scouting staff on hand evaluating. Amy Potomac, who has one of the 3 Team Black goals, goes to the front. She's tripped up by Brooke Disher. Puck is underneath Amy Potomac. And Disher, the 18-year-old, with a good one-handed play to start a Team Red rush. Vanessa Upson cuts to the middle, finds Gabrielle David loose in front. And Team Black back defensively. Here comes Victoria Bach. She scored a goal in the first period. Bach centers it in front. Scooped out of harm's way, but not out of the zone as Gosling goes rink wide. McEachern, Sarah McEachern, into the corner. She's dealing with David. Sarah Potomac, as it's backhanded down low, where Tova Henderson reverses it to May Batherson. And Batherson up the middle finds a stick. Cross ice pass. Into the corner it goes, and DiGirolamo uses her size and strength to win a 50-50 and find Rebecca Leslie up the middle, and this is going to turn into an icing call. And a face-off back deep to what looks like Team Black wants it to the left. They get to make the choice of Genevieve Lacasse, longtime national team player. Jocelyn Larocque to Michaela Grant-Mentis. Her pass intercepted as one of the 2 referees. Good to see her get up quickly. Fell to the ice. Grant-Mentis, the 24-year-old from Brampton, flips it out. DiGirolamo. She's had some impressive moments. Emily Lavoie, rink wide. Lavoie, wrist shot. And Lacasse read it well, came across, pushed off to her right, and stopped Michaela Grant-Mentis. Her best scoring chance. She's so excited. Her first crack at wearing the maple leaf. played for the Toronto Six last season, the Professional Women's Hockey League. Had 30 points. And was foiled by Lacasse. Maggie Connors. Amy Potomac, nifty move, drags it, backhands it in front. Zandy Hart was there. Lacasse makes the save. As Disher finds Maddie Wheeler, who spins and clears it in. Intercepted. Henderson, ahead it goes. Drop pass. Nice cut by Poulin. And she backhands it over the net. Just can't help but just thoroughly enjoy almost every shift of Marie-Philippe Poulin, who's working as tirelessly tonight as she would in any game I've watched her play in. Needless to say, not quite the same intensity, but that's what makes great players great. They really don't have an off switch. She scored the first Team Red goal out there with Jamie Lee Rattray. And Sarah Nurse. Is that Nurse on the left wing side? Looks to be. Henderson shot. No, that is not Nurse. That is Upson. Vanessa Upson. For Rattray. Jamie Lee, her pass. And Ambrose taps it ahead to Poulin. Cutting towards the net. DiGirolamo, but she's stripped of the puck. Good outlet from Rylan McKinnon to McEachern. Ambrose. Buglioni ahead to Gabrielle David. And she tests Mashmeyer, who kicks out the right pad. David's been an interesting player to watch for me for the first time. Number 40 in red. Good stick. That'll force Disher to race back with the speedy Bach on top of her. Cherkowski in the way of a pass. Here's Gabrielle David again. But this time ran into McKinnon. Bach, Rosalie Demers through a screen. Bach on the rebound was tied up enough that she couldn't get everything on it that she wanted. And that is sent out of play by Emily Lucier from Saint Martin, Quebec. Played for the John Abbott College Islanders last season, where she had 29 goals and 48 points. Represented Canada at the 2018 U18 World Championships. Puck failed to be cleared by Kristen Della Rovere, the 21-year-old. Out was Sarah Fillier and Sarah Potomac on the Team Black line. Fillier trying to steal it from Rebecca Leslie. Eventually gains control, wraparound try, rebound, good stop by Lacasse. As Jocelyn Larocque read it well, moved into the high slot, stopped by Lacasse. Larocque. What an inspiration she has been in the Indigenous community. Chipped in by Jade Aginla. Ambrose got to the boards but unable to keep it in. As it's knocked back in, Larocque out with her regular partner, Renata Fast, on this shift. Renata up the middle, intercepted by Vanessa Upson. In front to Nurse, looking for her second of the game, and Sarah is stopped. by Emirates Mashmeyer on the short side. Emirates was 2-0 at the Olympics as you look at Sarah Nurse. Had a beautiful shorthanded goal in the first. 5 goals, 18 points at the Olympic Games. She was outstanding. Had a couple of 4-point outings against Sweden and Switzerland. Bach off the stick of Zandy Hart. Turkowski. Her stick is lifted as Nurse back defensively. Just past the 8-minute mark of the second period. After a 6-goal first, we're looking for the first goal. I'm going to guess the coaching staff said, I know it's our first game in a long time, but we need to pay attention to defensive details a little more. McKinnon. She is stopped, intercepted. Bach with a nice tight turn on right wing. McEachern down low. Disher shovels it away to Lucier. Wants to clear it, can't. Potomac hooked up. Out there with sister Amy. 15 Sarah, 25 Amy. Both from Aldergrove, British Columbia. McEachern. For Sarah. Rosalie Demers in pursuit of Tova Henderson. Play a little scrambly here the last couple of minutes. And there's a good play. Excellently done to find time and space. Maddie Wheeler runs into Renata Fast. Sarah Potomac delivers, and Henderson back to collect it. Jenna Buglioni. And Jessie Eldridge, who opened the scoring tonight, on the back track. Eldridge with the return pass. Maggie Connors. Eldridge! What a beautiful passing play! Little tic-tac-toe, and Sarah Fillier, the Canadian Olympic gold medalist, finishes it off. Gorgeous goal. Started in the neutral zone, and Fillier finishes it off. The 8-goal getter for Canada at the Olympics in Beijing. 4 of those goals came in her first 2 games, and we're going to change goalies. Almost midway through the game. For Team Black, 22-year-old Kamloops product, Kendra Woodland comes into the game. And for Team Red, Chilliwack, BC, 22-year-old Kate Stewart enters the game. So the veterans Lacasse and Mashmeyer leave the game. And Fillier looking for more. With Connors and Eldridge, who just combined. Quick test and 2 excellent saves by Stewart. She didn't have to wait long, did she? It was the Fillier line buzzing again. McKinnon, Sarah Fillier from Georgetown, Ontario. And finally, the puck cleared out to the neutral zone where Connors goes rink wide. Here's a great opportunity, but a fan from in tight by Michaela Grant-Mentis, who had time and space. Here's Bach. And a little miscommunication as Michaela Grant-Mentis into deep, gets a little tap. So a go-ahead goal by Sarah Fillier. The only goal on a great passing play involving Maggie Connors and Jessie Eldridge, who has a goal and an assist in the game. McEachern trying to get away from Emily Lucier. Bach. could be icing and will be, as Grant Mentis was tied up, knocked her down, and face-off will come back deep in Team Black territory. Give you a chance to hear some notes on Kamloops, British Columbia's Kendra Woodland, who had a superb season for the University of New Brunswick, helped them to the national championship tournament of the U Sports women's hockey. They finished 4th in Canada. Concordia, the Stingers, won the title, beating Nipissing from Ontario in the championship game. Knocked down at the line by Disher. Centering pass, fast. Keeps it alive for Bach in the corner. Centered in front. Good position defensively, and Team Red, Nurse starts a 3-on-2. Wanted Iginla, broken up. And then Bach fanned on it. Jade Iginla now protecting it against the veteran Fast. And Fast finally picks Iginla's pocket into the slot area. Shifty move by Upson, but if you're going to deal with Fast and Larocque, never easy to get to the net, and we've got too many. Too many players is the call with 7:47 to go. This summer showcase for both the U18s, the National Women's Development, or the National Women's Team will continue tomorrow. Games again, I believe, at 4 and 7:15. All the action coming your way right here on hockeycanada.ca and on their YouTube channel. So Team Red guilty of too many players. Vanessa Upson will serve the penalty, the 18-year-old from Stony Creek, who had a massive year at Mercyhurst University, and cleared after a face-off win by Poulin. Out there with Rattray up front on the penalty kill. Ambrose and DiGirolamo on defense. Cherkowski, Sarah and Amy Potomac up front. And here comes Poulin, the captain. She is dumped. Nice work by Gosling. Amy Potomac between her legs, wanted her sister. Then she gets a chance. Misses on the short side. Cherkowski. Boyd now down low looking for a pass as Zoe Boyd races after it to try and keep it in, and Rattray makes sure it leaves the zone. Sarah McEachran carries back in on the Team Black power play. In front of the net. Wanting that pass was Kristen Della Rovere, and now she'll start to center as it roll off her stick. Gabrielle David. Swept off her stick is Della Rovere trying to reset. Rosalie Demers, Maggie Connors, and she is confronted by 18-year-old Brooke Disher. Here comes David again with Buglioni in the penalty kill. And again, Team Black, they have struggled. Not a lot going on the power play, which you can expect. First game, new teammates. You don't expect that area to be sharp unless maybe you have 5 national team members on the ice at one time. Here's one of them, Jocelyn Larocque. Penalty is expired. Upson out of the penalty box, but there's Renata Fast. And for the second time, Renata is going to make her way to the penalty box. She is not afraid to take the body. We're going to have a couple of words. And the 27-year-old Olympic gold medalist will take a seat. And Team Red to the power play. Looking to tie the game again. They trailed 1-0, 3-1. Battled back. Now trail again. Nice interception at center. And that was Fillier, who has the only goal on a beautiful tic-tac-toe three-way passing play earlier in the period. Batherson. Wheeler. Intercepted and cleared again. As Tova Henderson for Jade Aginla. Helping out is Sarah Nurse. Leaves it for Aginla. Jade, just 17 years of age. Won't turn 18 until October. And yes, she is the daughter of Jerome Aginla. 2-on-1, shorthanded. Bach, waiting, shooting, scoring. Victoria Bach, second of the game. This one shorthanded. As Kate Stewart made a fine stop, the product of Boston University, on the first go-around, but not the second. So, for the second time in the game, Team Black enjoys a 2-goal advantage. And now both teams have found the net shorthanded. Game 1 of the national women's team camp. Jobs on the line. Not a lot of them, I wouldn't think. Some newcomers would love to play for the national women's team for the first time in Denmark at the end of the month in the World Championships. For a second year in a row, a summer event, as it was last summer here in Calgary. Grant Mentis waiting for reinforcements as she rags time off the penalty clock, and Jocelyn Larocque will fire it in. And winning a race to it is Amy Potomac. And she'll just take her time and now make her way back into the zone. Potomac's been an impressive player in the game. And the penalty has expired to Team Black, and they managed to add to their lead shorthanded, courtesy of Victoria Bach. Redhead to clear the zone. Here comes Sarah Potomac. Sarah moves into the high slot. Toe drag, backhander, and a beauty. Sarah Potomac. Great hands and a great finish. And now it's 6-3 for Team Black. Sarah Potomac, 24 years old, from Aldergrove. Fine career at the University of Minnesota, and scored 2 goals and had an assist on the national women's team back in the 2017 World Championships. She'd like to earn her way back again. So for the first time, the lead is 3. 3 unanswered goals here by Team Black in period number 2. Disher. Upson cuts to the middle laterally, lets it go over top of the net. Sharp angle rebound try, goes off the side of the goal as David Pinned in the corner by Zoe Boyd. Buglioni. McEachran trying to pin it. David in front, great stop. Backhander, another fine save. Is Kendra Woodland from Kamloops, BC, comes up big twice. Is she replaced Olympian Emrance Meschmeyer midway through this period? Has made some good stops. Fast, looks at Connor. Instead wheels, finds Eldridge, chips it ahead for Fillier. Sarah tried to return the favor. Broken up. Henderson. Stripped behind the net by Fillier. This is Maggie Connors. Connors, penalty upcoming to Team Red. Tipped and made its way over the glass and into the netting. Playing on the international ice here at the Markin McPhail Arena at Winsport in Calgary, the beautiful home of Hockey Canada. And Alexa Vasco takes a seat. And power plays have not exactly been these teams' friends. They've both given up a shorthanded goal. And Team Black with a chance to add to a 3-goal advantage. Is Alexa Vasco from St. Catharines in the penalty box. Fast. Looks at Bach. Finds her. Victoria has 2 goals in the game. Fast. Wrist shot. Stop made by Stewart. LaRock. She'll zip it wide. Fast will track it down on the right wing boards. Tied up effectively and carried away by Nurse, who scored a beauty of a shorthander in the late stages of the first. Bach around Rattray, and look at the work by Nurse to come back defensively. So it might be the first game of camp, but the key members of Team Canada trying to ready themselves for Denmark in defense of a world championship. So Poulin to take the draw. Wins it. Sandy Hart. Hit delivered by Brooke Disher. Cherkowski trying to find one of the Potomac's, Sarah. And Disher wants to backhand it out, unable to do so. Annie Cherkowski trying to dig it free with some help. Team Red more than happy to just end the period while killing a penalty. All Team Black in period number 2 as they score 3 unanswered and take a 3-goal advantage into the third at Hockey Canada's Summer Showcase in Game 1 for the national women's team as they really start the process towards selecting a team and making their way to the World Championships at the end of the month in Denmark. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are here on hockeycanada.ca. Back with a third in about 15 minutes. One period left as the games have just begun at this Hockey Canada Summer Showcase for the U18 players and the national women's team hopefuls and players, many Olympians in this game. Sarah Nurse. With a little hug for Jesse Eldridge, who's had a fine game out there with Maggie Connors, the product of St. John's, Newfoundland, number 36, and of course, Sarah Fillier. 20 seconds on a Team Black power play, and a shot from Renata Fast, stopped by Kate Stewart, who has spent the last 4 years at Boston University. But this season, she's going to return home. She's going to play at UBC. She's from Chilliwack. And I'm sure they're delighted to have her. Now penalty winding down. Vasco about to return to the ice. And finally out of the scrum and cleared down the ice by Marie-Philippe Poulin, who has one of the 3 Team Red goals. Here comes Fast, bursting in, squeezed off by fellow Olympian Micah Zandy Hart. Fast is so competitive. There's that ice at that end of the rink again after the resurface. Maddie Wheeler will get to it first. Wheeler behind the net with Gabrielle David, the 23-year-old. Referees say play on. Brooke Disher, one of the youngest players in the camp, the 18-year-old, who was the captain of Canada's gold medal winning team in Wisconsin at the World Under-18 Championships. She had a terrific year, won another championship. Did Brooke Disher with Rink Kelowna at the Canadian Sports School Hockey League Championships back in March, a game I was in attendance for as they beat Delta Academy 3-2 in an excellent game in Penticton. Cherkowski trying to shovel it. Pressured by Buglioni on the back track and squirts loose to Wheeler. Wheeler stopped up at the line by Ryland McKinnon on a pairing with Gosling. Buglioni, good work. Plays it to Tova Henderson. Cross ice for Mae Batherson. And yes, she is the sister of Ottawa Senators right winger Drake Batherson. Bach, who has a couple of goals, wins a race against the youngster. Henderson trying to jam it home short side for a hat trick. You knew that she would be very motivated after playing at the World Championships in late August, but she did not make Canada's Olympic team. And she has looked like a player on a mission tonight. Number 23 in black, Victoria Bach. Sarah Potomac. Kristen Della Rovere in front of the net, wanted to redirect. She's got it now in the right wing corner. Finds Zoe Boyd. Returns it to Della Rovere. She'll shoot it on target. Kicked away by Stewart. And out to the neutral zone. Played back in. Backhander. It's like Sarah Potomac. Goes down to the ice. As the Potomac sisters have certainly been noticeable in this game. 6-3, Team Black, scoring the only 3 goals of period 2. Fast can't quite keep it in at the line with her regular partner, Jocelyn Larocque. As good a shutdown pairing for me as there is on the planet. They were marvelous at the Olympics and marvelous at the 2021 World Championships. Won both by Canada. Grant Mentis. Up the middle it goes. Emily Lavoie in deep along with Eldridge. Michaela Grant Mentis, a shot from the slot off his stick, went wide. And now it's Lucier, Emily Lucier. Watched closely by Ann Cherkowski. Henderson pressured. And McKinnon back to take over. Shoots it in. Team Red changing. Ambrose with Cherkowski. I've been impressed with number 22 in black in the game. Good speed. Been around the puck all night. And of course, it's Philippe Poulin who wins that battle. Here comes Nurse with a step. Sarah Nurse, she scores. Second of the game for Olympian Sarah Nurse. And she is skating as well as I've ever seen her. Coming off that massive performance at the Olympics. Had a beauty of a shorthanded goal earlier tonight and has Team Red back to within 2 as she burst around. Nicole Gosling and then beat goaltender Kendra Woodland. Poulin remains out. Rister caught. And I think for some of these young players, it must be an absolute treat to play against these Olympians. Kendra can go home tonight and say, I made a pretty good save off Marie-Philippe Poulin, who has scored in the game. Poulin digs it free. Backhands it to the front. Wanted Nurse. Broken up by Zoe Boyd as Disher kept it in for a second or two. Cherkowski to Fillier. Her shot. Not a lot on it for Sarah. And a routine save in the Team Red net for Kate Stewart. Sarah Fillier, part of a beautiful three-way passing play in period number 2. Spent a lot of time with Maggie Connors on the line tonight and Jesse Eldridge. Fast. Chops it down the boards. Kristen Delarovere. Henderson swept that to the boards. Where's that? DiGirolamo. That's Henderson indeed. Number 14. Iginla chopped at it, missed. Here comes Wheeler. Maddie Wheeler blocked on the short side by Fast. Fast will force it out and head up on the rush with a middle lane drive. Centered in front by Bach for Delarovere, missed. And here's Team Red. And LaRocque with an excellent one-on-one play. Just enjoying the daylights out of this. First opportunity for myself to call some Team Canada women's action. Have been watching the women's program going all the way back to first World Championship in 1990 and haven't missed many. But pretty neat to be in the play-by-play chair for this one tonight and a number of others as the next 2 weeks continues with this summer showcase. It'll involve the United States, a couple of series against the U18s and the U22s. Also, Finland is here in the U18s. And for the U18s, the big carrot is trying to make a roster that will play the United States in a 3-game series here. We'll have all of it courtesy of HN Live. Myself, Dave Dawson, Sandra Prasina will handle the play-by-play duties. Great thanks to Ron Radke, doing wonderful work as always on the camera, and our technical engineer and good announcer himself, Chris Colwell, helping out. Always great to work with these two guys. Seen a lot of each other the last year, and I've enjoyed every second. Good group. Grant Mentis behind the net for Emily Lavoie. Lavoie keeps it alive for Fast. Dealing with Micah Zandy Hart. Fast. Down low, looks for the give and go. Cherkowski. Her shot attempt doesn't make it to the net. Now that's tipped in front by Grant Mentis, but it just went wide of the target. Emily Lucier to the shoot in, won the race. Renata Fast at the end of a lengthy shift as Fillier back to collect it and start a Team Black breakout. Here she comes. Sarah Fillier checked off the puck by the youngster, Tova Henderson. Nurse looking for her hat trick. She stopped Poulin. Great strength to the front. Nurse tied in a knot, couldn't get it away, and Della Rivera tries to slide it ahead for Connors, couldn't. Quite a collision involving Buglioni at center. Here's Marie-Philippe Poulin. End of a long shift, wanted Nurse, broken up. And both of them will make their way to the bench is longtime veteran Aaron Ambrose, who has a goal tonight. Carries on for Gabrielle David. Out there with Jade Aginla and Maddie Wheeler. This is Aginla to DiGirolamo. Her shot blocked. The coaches and scouts and evaluators are going to notice those shot blocks. You're going to notice that too. The referees did not. Ambrose banks it off the end boards. And Sarah Fillier, she can score, and she did a good job blocking a shot too. The drop pass for Disher. Stripped, and here comes Amy Potomac. Broken up at the line. So Victoria Bach will have to clear the zone. She has 2 goals for Team Black, and look at the diving work. Looked to be Zoe Boyd over there. And that's exactly who it is. She's from Caledon, Ontario, the 22-year-old. Played at Quinnipiac University this past season. Also played for Canada, had a goal and an assist in the 2018 U18 World Championships. Micah Zandy Hart, Tess Kendra Woodland, and Woodland juggled for a second, but quick to dive on it. As we're under 10 minutes to go here in the third. Again, this Hockey Summer Showcase will continue tomorrow. I believe it will be Team Finland against Team Red at 4. And then the night game, I would think, should feature the other 2 teams in the National Women's and Under 22 Development Camp, which would be Team Gold and Team White. I believe Mr. Dawson will have all the action for you tomorrow. Did I mess that up? Okay. Sorry, Chris. So is it not gold and white tomorrow? Oh, gold and white early. And then is it? And then, so I had the right teams, I just had the wrong order. Well, it happens. I haven't had much on my plate lately. Batherson lets it go. Just lacrosse, baseball, and hockey in 3 days. But I love it. Can't get enough. Headed to the World Junior tomorrow. Looking forward to that. But tomorrow I can just sit back in my seat and enjoy. $8:51 to go. 1 goal in this period. And scored by Sarah Nurse of Team Red. Her second. What an Olympics. What a line. Her and Jenner, who's not playing tonight. Brienne, the 31-year-old. And Marie-Philippe Poulin were at the Olympic Games. Sarah Potomac trying to drive the front. Cut off. Rylan McKinnon. That's tipped by Sarah Potomac on target. Testing Stewart on the short side. And cleared, not out. Nice work by McKinnon. I thought she kept it in, and she did, but it was a glove pass. That's the reason for the stoppage. Number 14, Rylan McKinnon from Cranbrook, British Columbia. Spent the last 4 years at the University of British Columbia. Prior to that, she was at Northern Alberta Extreme Hockey Academy. DiGirolamo to Nurse, who has it tapped away by Boyd. Ambrose, long stretch for Jamie Lee Rattray, but that's broken up. And DiGirolamo, the 23-year-old, back for it. Nurse to the middle, Poulin stopped. Good stop by Kendra Woodland. Nurse. Good defensive work behind the net by Emily Lavoie. And then Poulin runs into her before Della Rovere takes over. 21-year-old Kristen Della Rovere somehow managed to chip that through the legs of DiGirolamo. The 23-year-old from Mississauga. There's Kristen Della Rovere back. Her cousin Stefan played in the World Junior for Canada. Maggie Connors, St. John's, Newfoundland's own. She's just 21. Wheeler bursts in, one-on-one, and Larocque says, not on my watch. Nice take by Sarah Fillier to Jessie Eldridge. The return pass blocked by Micah Zandy Hart. Excellent defensive play by the 25-year-old British Columbia product. And I will not be the least bit surprised if Zandy Hart just continues to take another step at the World Championships. She was hurt last year. She missed the Worlds, but certainly acquitted herself very well at the Olympics. Had 4 assists. Had 2 of those assists in a round-robin 4-2 triumph over the arch-rival United States. And she's in pretty good form tonight for sure. Nice stop by Stewart off McKinnon. Rylan McKinnon has it slide off her stick and out to the neutral zone. Gosling quickly up to Cherkowski. Guess who's in the road? Zandy Hart. Wheeler trying to move it out, unable to. Gosling kept it alive. Disher involved with Amy Potomac. Bursting in after it. Here comes Jade Aginla. Jade protecting it well. Underneath her. And then Gosling plays it to the open wing, and Sarah Potomac Cherkowski. And this is Bach. No, that's not Bach, pardon me. That is 19, not 23. Very similar, both left-handed shots. Sarah Potomac in front, backhander, they score. Rosalie Demers looked like she was the last. And Team Black on the Demers goal extend their lead again to 3. It is 7-4. As Demers, the 22-year-old from Laval, who had 23 points this past season in her 4th year at Colgate University. Made no mistake on the backhander from in tight. Eldridge. Nice strip by Jamie Lee Rattray. Mae Batherson. Good long lead pass, Rattray. She'll dish it across to Emily Lucier, and she was tied up effectively. Grant Mentis. Ahead it goes for Michaela Grant Mentis one more time. She tries to throw it in front and make a connection. Goes off of Buglioni's stick. Right to goaltender Kate Stewart. Fast little push at the end for longtime teammate Erin Ambrose. Renata Fast. Put a C somewhere on her jersey for competitor. We know there's nobody taking the C away from where it is now, and will be when the World Championships begin at the end of the month in Denmark. That'll be a great trip for this group. Certainly the 25 members who earn their way. DiGirolamo, backhander to Nurse. Sandy Hart. And the puck flipped out to center. Interesting Karam, net empty. And Maggie Connors says, "Thank you kindly." As the St. John's product tosses it into the empty net to make it 8-4. Maggie coming off a 22-point season in 31 games at Princeton University. In the 2 years prior to that, she put up 47 and 43 points. Also played well for Canada at the 2018 World Under-18 Championships. So that will certainly put this game away, I would think. Can't imagine the coaching staff, unless they just want to see another 6-on-5 situation. Remember, this is all about evaluating people. Like Amy Potomac. And Potomac shot it wide. Gosling. Potomac in front. And I think that was Bach who had it chopped away from her. Victoria's had a fine game with a couple of goals. Not quite as noticeable here in the third as she was in periods 1 and 2. Demers, who has a third period goal in front, nearly missed. Bach, backhander from Victoria off his stick and into the corner. Good strong play coming out of the corner by Eldridge. And Boyd, who'd moved up from the blue line, wristed it over top of the net. His Team Black still with the pedal down and a 4-goal lead late. So once again, tomorrow early, it's Team White versus Team Gold at 4 as the National Women's Team Camp continues. First, Cherkowski, Sarah Potomac, and Kate Stewart got across quickly to stop the puck on the short side. And then some international plays. The U18 Team Red squad will take on the U18 Finnish team. That at 7:15. Racing out of the zone is Emily Lucier, but she ran into fast. DiGirolamo. Fast bodies her off the puck. Erin Ambrose looks for a shooting lane, can't find one. Taken away by Cherkowski. And tries to clear it. Emily Lavoie should and does. Goes off of Grant Mentis' stick and into the Team Red bench. It's been a fun day. U18 Team Red over Team White, 4-2, and then they had an extra session, 5 minutes worth of 3-on-3. So 4 teams taking part in the National Women's Team Camp. Out of it will come the team that represents our country at the Worlds. A number of other players will play on the U22 development team. Marie-Philippe Poulin, and give Kendra Woodland credit. She's had the Canadian greats number tonight. She comes out of that opportunity shaking her head. "17 points in the most recent Olympics, 35 points in 22 Olympic games, 3 gold medals, the winning goal in all 3 of those Canadian victories, including the 2014 overtime winner in Sochi. It is borderline ridiculous what Marie-Philippe Poulin has done in clutch moments. And right here in this very building in the World Championships, late in August, early September, she fired one off the bar into the back of the net to beat the United States in another overtime championship game. I was sitting on the other side of the rink, up in the second deck where the media was. Couldn't really tell it was in originally from my vantage point, but she knew it the whole time. Jada Ginla. She certainly hopes to be a national team member in the not too distant future. She's only 17. Stewart, wrist shot as we're into the final minute of the game. The camps began on, I believe, the 3rd of August. And today, first game action for both U18s and 2 of the 4 national women's teams that were put together. DiGirolamo, late chance. Woodland steered that aside with confidence. Loose in front. She made another fine save off Jenna Buglioni. And that's going to do it. As Team Black records an 8-4 victory over Team Red in Game 1. Plenty more to come over the next week or so. And we have certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. I think the players will shake hands. And we'll say goodnight until tomorrow, when the camp continues with a national women's team game between Team Gold and Team White. For Chris Colwell and our outstanding cameraman Ron Radke, I'm Peter Loubardias, saying so long from Winsport in Calgary.